Well, that was a wild first hour, huh? The night before. Okay, so we are going to have a flashback. Oh! So Tyrion was here. Well, then he might know something that would be a contradiction, wouldn't he? Is it something he saw or something he magic eyeballed? To be frank, Tyrion is mad at her. Well, we know they argued about something. We don't know what that argument was about. Man, everyone's just getting all super personal with this. Let's just overlook the fact that Arya got assaulted to the point where she nearly died, by the way. I feel so out of place here. Where's Celeste? Despite our clear hatred for the nobility, we found ourselves at a party filled with aristocrats. We hardly recognize anyone, but many of the people here clearly recognize us. We're used to receiving dirty looks from the upper class, but we can literally feel everyone's disdain for us. Why are you in the corner by yourself? Why do you think? I can't believe I let you talk me into coming here. Oh, hey! Don't you look elegant in your nice little dress? I wonder what Tyrion is wearing. For reasons unknown, we lose our train of thought. No, I think those reasons are known. I think those reasons are quite plain, actually. I've been wanting to wear this dress for a while now. What do you think? I think I found the thumbnail. What's wrong? You suddenly feel extremely flustered. It's difficult to make eye contact with her. Oh, I see. Are you enchanted by my beauty? Okay, it loses a bit of the charm when you make that face with that dress. Oh, come on, say something. Okay, there's the cute face. Ever since that night in Arcane, we felt like something has been off between us. Oh, and Ruby just showed up in her usual clothes. Am I interrupting something? Oh, Miss Tamora, thank you for saving me. I wanted to check up on you two before we went to meet with Lord Frege. Why are we meeting with Lord Frege? Oh, hey, and you're here too. We spot a woman silently following behind her. Is she the client that Miss Tamora is representing? I'm pretty sure this is our first time meeting her, but she still looks familiar for some reason. Is this before he was even murdered? Because if so, why is she already Ruby's client? Hi, I'm Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm Miss Tamora's ward. I put my hand out to shake hers. She has an aristocratic air to her, so I hope I'm not being too informal. But of course, instead of taking our hand, she claps her hands together and takes a deep breath. What? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's a bit of a habit of mine. I wonder if that habit is going to factor into the case. Oh. Nevertheless, she finally shakes your hand. I've heard much about you, Mr. Cuthbert. My name is Beatrice. We're not sure about the details, but our mentor appears to be brokering a deal between Beatrice and William Frege. William Frege is the ruling lord of House Frege, so we're a little curious about what kind of deal he'd be involved in. But we've learned not to pry into our mentor's business. Anyways, we'll probably be gone for a while. Can I trust you two not to cause trouble? No, absolutely not. I'm gonna Repario Arcanum the hell out of this room just because I can, as soon as you turn your back. You're in a manor filled with the highest members of the nobility. Don't care. You might meet some familiar yet unfriendly faces. We'll keep a low profile, Miss Tamora. Please do. Everyone already knows you're here. You said it earlier. Hey, cutie. So why were you so insistent on accompanying Miss Tamora to the Lord's Ball? Oh, this is the Lord's Ball. This is the Lord's Ball going on. Wait, she shook his hand? How did she know to stick out her hand? Yeah, she can count on him to cause trouble. Exactly. I can assume that she probably put out her hand on reflex, expecting that a handshake was happening. So, I'm guessing Tyrion knew that she was blind. Possibly, maybe, who knows, but whatever. It may turn out that she's faking. It could turn out that she's lying. But we have surgeons that testify that she's blind, so... On the other hand, this is Magic Land, so there might be spells that can assist with blindness, because the evidence specifically details... Oh, I have nothing now. That it specifically says that Beatrice cannot see with her eyes. So I wonder if she can see through some other method, magically involved. We'll have to see. But, so why were you so insistent on accompanying Miss Tamora to the Lord's Ball? That's... Oh, you were the one who insisted on coming. You know you can tell me anything, right? Aww. I guess everything that happened in Oranax made me think about things. I don't really know anything about my past or where I came from. I didn't want to think about it because of my dad and mom, but You wanted to find out who your biological parents are. I do, but I don't know now. Being here is starting to make me feel very weird. I still have my mom, and looking for my birth parents feels wrong somehow. Well, that's a death flag for your mom. Thanks a lot. I don't think that's true. Is she Daredevil? Maybe, possibly. Maybe you could have Magic Daredevil. I don't know. Really? Miss Tamora adopted me when I was a child, and she gave me a purpose in life. But I still keep my childhood memories of my mother close to me. Miss Tamora and my mother are both important to me. I don't think it's disrespectful to find out more about yourself, and I'm sure your mother will understand. You think so? Of course. And I'm also sure of another thing. If I'm with you, I doubt any of the nobles here will want to speak with you anyway. Yeah, I don't want to be rude, but don't worry, I can find something to fill the time. You're just gonna go play chess alone, aren't you? Yeah, probably. My god, how does she know? Maybe? You really need to learn to talk to other people. Make some new friends or something. I don't need more friends. I usually want to spend most of my time with you anyways. Well, surprise. Anyways, I'm gonna go try to talk to some people. Yeah, I'll see you later. You just said that to make things awkward. And make her leave. Celeste leaves to mingle with some of the other partygoers. We find ourselves with very little to do, and we doubt anyone would want to engage in small talk from the likes of us. But do you really want to be friends with him? Probably not. I guess he's just here because Celeste wants to be here. Our hand instinctively goes to our satchel. It contains our foldable chessboard. Well, it's not as if I have anything better to do. Oh, some noble is going to see that and be like, oh, you think you're good at chess? I heard you beat Lord Von Sanctus. Let me try my hand. I should try to find an empty table to play on. Oh, I can't Repario Arcanum. She left. No Repario Arcanum for me. Several gold-tinted chandeliers hang from the ceiling of the ballroom. They look fancy enough to be worth a small fortune. It irks you a little knowing how much wealth Lord Frigga must be hoarding to afford all of this. That's his money. What else we got going on here? Flowers. Each table has a centerpiece of flowers on it. Most of the seats at the table are filled. It doesn't look like we'll be able to play here. I can do a stage hypnosis show here. No lie. And there is nothing else to do. Very well. I am out of here. Look at these lights. This place looks pretty quiet, but there aren't any tables anywhere. Well, I could play on the floor. Oh, hello, dog. What the? Why is there a dog here? While walking through the hallways, I suddenly find myself face to face with a large wolf. Immediately upon seeing us, the wolf quickly gallops away. Oh! Did someone leave a door open? Well, that's gonna be relevant. Illusion? I'm calling illusion. I think about telling someone, but I remember the manor is full of nobles. I'm sure a servant will spot it eventually. And it's not as if anyone would believe us anyway. Oh, hi, wolf! You're not allowed to hunt that one, Ice. That one's off limits. Put your bow and arrow away. But it'd be probably best to find somewhere else to play. Where am I going? Where is this leading to? There are several jewels mounted on the wall, and they all look equidistant from each other. We already know House Frigga is wealthy, but embedding jewels into the walls make the place look pretty tacky. True enough. They even have gold-tinted chandeliers in the hallways. It's ridiculous when you really think about it. It is. Nothing else I can see, not even the door. Alright, where else can I go? Gallery! Well then! There is the sword. We got more paintings, too. I still wonder who these people are. I wonder if they're based on Kickstarter backers or something like that. You look further around the manor and find a room with several displays. It looks like a gallery of some sort, but it's slightly out of place here. There are a few nobles in the room, and they're all silently appreciating the exhibits. Perhaps Lord Frigga paid a museum to create some historical displays for the Lord's Ball. Now, there's a face I haven't seen before. Okay, this is either someone we know who's being sarcastic, or maybe it's Loth. Are we gonna meet Loth? Now, there's a face I haven't seen before. Whoa, nope, that's definitely a face we haven't seen before. Holy crap. You are in the wrong video game, frankly. As you take a closer look at one of the exhibits, an old man approaches us. Is that a monkey on his back? That is indeed a monkey on his back. Oh, you're Harold Haraldson. We heard about you during the trial. Hello, my name is Harold Haraldson. I'm the curator of this collection. Harold Haraldson. Is that a pseudonym or something? No. That's my name. You got a problem with it? I see. It's Captain Toad, but in human form. Yeah, you're not wrong. Wait, he's a museum curator? He must be extremely knowledgeable about Wivensgard's history. I wonder... Would you happen to know anything about the ancient dragons? Ah, like the Scale Lord, Rothalion. Rothalion came up during Case 2 as well. I still wonder if he's alive. There are many pieces in this gallery, and some of them were items that were wielded by the 7 heroes of Wivengard. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but Eris has already alluded to the fact that she's not human. So if she's the daughter of the Eye Taker, does that mean the Eye Taker's not human? And if the Eye Taker's not human, who is he? There's a sliver of a chance that he's Rothalion, but we'll see. We'll see what his story is. And some of them were items that were wielded by the 7 heroes of Wivengard. Legends say that some of these items were directly enchanted by Rothalion himself. Enchanted by Rothalion? Does that mean they also don't follow the rules of magic? Perhaps we should examine these items more closely. I am now going to ignore you. It's a pair of metallic armbands. There are several mystical runes carved onto them. It's Apollo's bracelets. These are the armbands of intellect. They were actually created by a member of House Frege many centuries ago. Centuries? That would make these armbands one of the first creations of artificery. That's correct. Legends say that whoever wore these armbands would be granted unparalleled levels of intellect. Many believe that House Frege created these to aid them in their study of magic. Oh, that's evidence! Oh, interesting. The armbands of intellect. Also, why does that pattern on them look familiar? That might be a Frege pattern that I've seen on certain people's clothing or something, but it looks... I don't know, I'm getting some deja vu looking at that. The armbands of intellect are an ancient artifact. When worn by a creature, that creature's intelligence would be increased beyond the limits of an average human. Legends say that it was forged by a member of House Frege to further their study of magic, so they made items to help them study magic. Smart. It's a pair of golden earrings, the Patera. They are small jewels embedded into each of them. Those are the earrings of vitality. Ah, they give, what, plus 10? It's said that the Scale Lord imbued a portion of his immortality into those. Legends say that whoever wore them would have their lifespan increased tenfold. Why isn't someone wearing them then? The Scale Lord could do things like that? Of course, he is the Scale Lord after all. Man, that little podium there is going to last forever. Oh, these are in the evidence too! Man, how are these going to factor? The earrings of vitality are an ancient artifact when worn by a creature. It also keeps saying worn by a creature or wielded by a creature. Why does it specify creature and not someone? Is that wolf going to play in here? Is the wolf going to eat all the artifacts and become a god or something? The bracelet is sort of the clue for me. Oh, do you have a theory already based on the bracelet? The earrings of vitality are an ancient artifact when worn by a creature. That creature's wounds would slowly heal over time. Oh, get those to Arya. Furthermore, its holder's lifespan increases tenfold for as long as they're worn. Legends say they were created by the Scale Lord himself. Also, could I wear those bracelets in the courtroom? Someone should really be wearing those to give themselves an advantage or something. Are there any spells that can create a similar effect to these earrings? Not that I know of. A spell like that would probably fall under the school of necromancy. And I'm sure you know how much the kingdom scrutinizes that type of magic. We do. He knows who we are, and I'm not sure I like that. Let's look at the paintings. It's a painting of a researcher. That is Professor Matt Furland. He was a professor of some renown. If the bracelet is able to give someone the ability of magic, is it possible that there is a spell that can temporarily... Is it possible there is a spell that can give someone sight temporarily early? Oh. Well, let's be fair. The bracelet is not magic. The bracelet just makes you smarter. It's actually, like he said, artificery, so it's not magical per se. Artificery and magic, there's a distinction between the two in this game. But if there is an item that gives people sight, I feel like someone would have mentioned it, and also would have mentioned if it had gone missing, because who else would take it, right? How many blind people are in here? But we'll see. Someone used something, though. They're going into our evidence for some reason. This is Professor Matt Furland. He was a professor of some renown. He was a researcher of combinatorial magic theory. Ooh, combo fields. Guild Wars 2. What's that? It's an MMO. It's the study of how different types of magic interact with each other. He famously ran an experiment on what would happen if two anti-magical fields overlapped each other. Well, there you go. We talked about that earlier. That's actually pretty interesting. What were the results of that experiment? Well, they had mages enter the space where the two fields overlapped. It turns out that those mages were able to use their magic in that space. Wait, how would that be possible? They would have had two anti-magic fields affecting them. Well, when the two fields overlapped, they canceled each other out. I've heard that it's akin to multiplying two negative numbers together. Well, that's been elaborated on. It's a painting of some sort of scientist. That man is Dr. Luke Kipfer. He was an alchemist and inventor from one of the branch families. He's well known for his studies into imbuing intelligence into automatons. Well, that's curious, because this isn't the house that makes the arcane constructs. Intelligent automatons. Wouldn't that make them similar to arcane constructs? Exactly. Yes, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if Lord Von Sanctus used Dr. Kepfer's research to create those constructs. So in essence, Von Sanctus is taking credit for someone else's work. Well, who is shocked by this? I guess we'll inspect the murder weapon. It's a crimson red short sword. That's the sword of spell eating. Legends say that it has the power to protect its wielder from any kind of magic. So it's like an anti-magic field. In a way, yes, but it has less than heroic origins, I'm afraid. It's said that this sword was created through a blood pact between a mage and a demon. A demon? Legends say that some demons had the power to absorb and nullify magic. A demon must have imbued some of that power into this sword. Or at least that's what the legends say. Every single conversation about every single thing in this room ends with, at least that's what the legends say. You don't actually know anything, you're just making it up, aren't you? But also, this is just going back in our evidence. This was in our evidence, then it left, and now it's back. We have relearned it. Is it safe to put something like this on display? What if the legends are true? Don't worry, these displays are fortified with several abjuration spells. Well, about that. I'd bet even Lord Steelwind would have trouble getting into this. Here we go. Haraldson's Security. The artifacts on display at the Lord's Ball were protected by layers of abjuration spells. Yeah, about that anti-magic security system. I'm just gonna, throw that out there. Just spitballing, just saying. Also, this is like the 4th time we've used this icon. The artifacts on display were protected by layers of abjuration spells. Even a highly skilled mage would have trouble breaking into them. Unless there were a field, cough cough anyway, ew. So what is a historian doing at the Lord's Ball, Mr. Haraldson? Harold. Oh, right, Harold. Anyway, Lord Frege invites my museum to set up some displays here every year. He must think it adds a semblance of culture, the fool. He must think it adds a semblance of culture, the fool. Interesting. You own a museum? Yes, it's the Haraldson Hall of History, located in the city of Homhearth. Homhearth. Interesting. That is a mouthful, I agree. Unfortunately, I don't think his guests appreciate the historical significance of these items. Honestly, I think you're the only person in years who's taken a meaningful interest in them. About that, about your monkey. Tell me about your monkey. Sorry, but I really have to ask, is that a monkey riding on your back? Yes, this is my familiar, Eugene. Ah, a familiar, not a pet, a familiar. Your familiar? A familiar is a creature that a mage has formed a magical bond with. Oh, so you're a mage. With that bond, our souls are forever connected. Hang on a second. That's going to be relevant too. Where are you? Arcane art, transmutation. Okay, do you have one? Both of these guys are transmutation. Interesting. Everyone else here is standard. Okay, but yeah, you are a mage. I wonder if you're from a branch family or something. Our souls are forever connected. I can communicate with them telepathically. I can even cast my spells through him if I wanted to. Oh, dang! I want this guy in my party too. There is a very powerful raid group for that you can make out of some of the characters in this game. Really? I never knew a spell like that existed. It's quite rare. Very few mages take the time to learn how to cast it. Familial Bond. Returum. The caster forms a magical, unbreakable bond with the target creature, connecting them to the caster's magic. I wonder who's bonded to the wolf. Probably Eris. I'm blaming Eris for everything, just because I can. And also because she's Eris. When this bond exists... Well, it's unbreakable, so when the bond exists, it doesn't not exist. The caster can telepathically communicate with the target over any distance. Did you make the monkey do something? Are you the murderer? The caster can also choose to see through the target's eyes as long as they concentrate. And lastly, the caster can also cast spells from the location of the target creature instead of their own location. Once this bond is formed, neither the caster nor the target can form bonds with any other creature. The bond can only be broken by death. All right. I was very, I wondered how send message was going to factor into the last case, and that actually being pivotal was not something I saw coming until the moment when it was pivotal, so I'm really curious how the things we're learning right now are going to fit into this. Eugene helps me with my day-to-day. These old bones aren't as spry as they used to be, after all. Harold. Harold. Yeah, Harold. Did I call him something different? Wait a minute. Mr. Harold. Yeah, your name is Harold. We've established this. As a historian, do you have a lot of knowledge about the ancient dragons? The answer to that question is somewhat complicated. What do you mean? Unfortunately, a lot of historical texts in my collection have been altered or even outright destroyed by the Church of Bohemia. Because of that, it's quite difficult to separate myths from actual historical accounts. Right. I remember encountering a similar problem at the Imperial Academy. Ah, you must be quite dedicated to your studies. They let this simpleton in the Imperial Academy? Hey, I thought you liked me. Rude, but I suppose it can't be helped. I had to fight the church for a long time before I could even display dragon bones in my museum. In the history of the ancient dragons, was there any instance of them granting power to humans? Well, of course! That's the entire premise behind the 7 Heroes of Wivengard. Does this idiot not even know about that? Hey, even Psy'Min knew about that, so I'm gonna have to take Harold's side on this one. Right, but was there anything before that? Did they ever grant supernatural abilities that didn't follow the rules of arcane magic? Granting supernatural abilities, you say? That sounds more like something demonic in nature, rather than draconic. Demonic? Much like the ancient dragons, demons are the stuff of myths. There are many stories of people selling their souls to them for untold power. Selling their souls? Oh no, I don't have a soul! We recall the note that our mother left for us before she was executed. Use my eyes, peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. She told us to use her eyes. Did our mother make a deal with a demon to give us the eyes of Horus? There's something wrong. The simpleton is far too superstitious. No, nothing's wrong. It's a bit too much to take in. But we might just be overthinking this. There haven't been any recorded sights of demons in recent history. There are only secondhand stories and superstitions. The Eye of Horus can't possibly be demonic, can it? We hope Celeste's investigation is going better than ours. Are we going to find out? Are we going to play as Celeste? Oh, are we playing as Celeste now? Well, we're pissing everyone off, which probably means we're playing as Celeste. How dare you insinuate that I engaged in an adulterous relationship? That's not what I... Enough! If you try to speak with me again, I'll have the Kingsguard throw you out. This isn't working out. Oh, I see. She's asking about her parentage. And it's, not going well. I understand. Oh, Arya, man, everybody is here today. Man, all the people are just all the people. I don't think asking them like that will be very effective. What? Is Arya going to be wearing a nice dress, or is she just going to be in her work clothes too? Oh, well then. Oster, you lucky fella. Damn, I found the other thumbnail. Well then. Do you expect anyone here to be truthful with you? Where's the cane? Why would she think that'd go well? I mean, she's here to find out about her own parentage, so I don't blame her for asking certain questions, but at the same time, she shouldn't be asking certain questions. You're essentially asking them if they cheated on their spouses. Have you been spying on me? Not intentionally. I was just surprised to see you here, of all places. Right. I guess that makes sense. You're not party crashing, are you? Of course not! I came here with Ruby and Tyrion. That honestly raises more questions than answers. It kind of does. What the hell are they doing here? But I'll take your word for it. Anyways, you're looking for your birth parents, aren't you? Was I being that obvious? It's the only reason I could think of. Why else would you be trying to speak with members of the nobility? I don't know if it's any of my business. But think hard about whether this is what you truly want. Getting entangled in the aristocracy will only bring you misery. Yeah, Arya is kind of coming as this is from the other direction. She's in it and wants out. Celeste is out of it, but kind of wants to know where she fits in. I've read your file. You have everything you could ever want. You have your mother and your friends. You even have a lover. Wait a minute. We're assuming a bit much here. Hang on. Dial that back. Hold on a second. What? Nunny? You're in a relationship with Mr. Cuthbert, are you not? What? No, Tyrion's not my... Really? From the way you two behave around one another, I just assumed. It's pretty obvious you have feelings for him. Wait, how obvious? How obvious is obvious? I need to know. Did he seriously not notice? I think someone with his deductive reasoning skills would easily see through you. Oh yeah? What about you and Austin? Oh, there's gonna be a cat fight in a minute. there's gonna be blows, just wait. I have no idea what you're talking about. Come on, I was there at Von Sanctus's manor, so obvious you like him. Please, you're grossly exaggerating things. Oh, you just wait until he's in the room, okay? He may be my fiancé, but I only have the utmost respect for him. And what if I told you he was standing right behind you? You honestly think I'd fall for something like... Oh, please actually be there. Please actually be there. Either be there or use an illusion spell and make him look like he's there. What are you... Exactly. What are you falling for? There we go. Ah! Your Highness? Oh, she glanced and saw this and panicked. Oh, hello, Lady Steelwind. Your Highness, please don't run ahead like that. Our conversation with Harold was definitely interesting, but we still find ourselves with very few leads. Be it dragons or demons, the origin of the Eye of Horus still remains a mystery. We find ourselves returning to the ballroom, and we spot Celeste in the corner with some other people. Is she with Oster and Steelwind? Hey Oster, what do you think of Steelwind's dress? And now Celeste is the shit disturber. It suits you very well, Miss Steelwind. You look lovely. And here's the yeah, there we go. Literally the same text string, if I'm not mistaken. Squeak. Not even a word, just squeak. A little self-conscious, are we? I mean, she looks very nice. Her and Celeste are both little heartbreakers right now. Gross. The kid. Who's this kid? Who's this kid that gets a sprite? He even gets like one eyeball. He doesn't get two, but that's more than some people get. Like this guy. As we approach the group, we're stopped by a knight from the Kingsguard. He stares us down. What? Repario Arcanum. Oh, we're getting checked out. That was the incantation for detect magic. Okay, you're clean. The knight stares you up and down. Celeste hasn't cast any spells on us lately, so you shouldn't be able to see any traces of magic. Just making sure it's safe. Oh, Mr. Cuthbert. What was that all about? My apologies. They were making sure you weren't disguising yourself with an illusion. The prince's little brother, I'm guessing, because I think they called him Prince, and he certainly dresses the same. The Kingsguard are charged with keeping us safe. They must take every precaution to protect us. Oh, and who might you be? Do not speak so familiar with me, peasant. My, Oster. Rein this little brat in. Alaric. Alaric? Don't speak to him like that. Why shouldn't I speak to him as I please? I am Prince Alaric de Wyvernguard IV. I will not demote myself by showing courtesy to a commoner. Doesn't he mean demean? Wait, what did he say? I will not demote myself. Okay, well, close enough. Hey, punk. I'm terribly sorry about him, Mr. Cuthbert. It's fine. Anyway, weren't you supposed to be investigating your birth parents? Oh, we're talking to her. Anyway, weren't you supposed to be investigating your birth parents? Leave the poor woman alone. She started it. Right. Enough catfighting. I'm actually quite surprised to see you both here. What brings you to the Lord's Ball, Mr. Cuthbert? We were just accompanying Miss Tamora. Her client has business with Lord Frege. Her client? Oh, well. Business did not go well, I presume. This would be the storming out that we heard about during the trial. I'm guessing. Beatrice! Hey, you! A little more composed now. Beatrice suddenly storms through the ballroom. She almost walks right past us before she hears Oster's voice. She looks furious. Did her discussion with Lord Frege go badly? Yeah, again, she's blind, so she's just walking. She has no idea who's around. Oh, that voice. Is that you, Oster? Oh, and these two used to be engaged. Oh dear. Oh dear. Arya, no wonder Arya stopped being girly. Arya's on the defensive mode. It really is you. She called him Oster instead of Your Highness? Do they personally know each other? I guess this must be the first time they'd seen each other in ages, considering Beatrice took off 5 years ago. Was their engagement part of the reason why that happened? Huh. I'm glad to see you again, pardon the pun. It's been quite some time. Yes. Is that really all you have to say? Arya's like, don't pretend I'm not here. She's blind. Mention that your actual fiancé is here, please. It appears you two have much to talk about. I'll be taking my leave. Does Beatrice know who Arya is and who that was? Well, this is awkward. There's a bit of tension in the air. Celeste is like, okay, it isn't fun trolling anymore. Celeste, we should probably get going too. Yeah. Wow, that was awkward. Yeah, I'm wondering how those two know each other. He's working with Miss Tamora, but she somehow knows Lord Frege and the Crown Prince. Just who is she? Well, we suppose it's none of our business. Anyway, how did your investigation go? I got nothing. I think all I did was make a bunch of the nobles mad. Sorry, I know you really wanted answers. But I'm sure something will come up. You think so? Also, I can't help but notice this is something that happens occasionally in the Ace Attorney games, where Phoenix will just go somewhere and they'll be like, oh, there's a murder right here, and we happen to know something about it because we were present during it. But there are also other times when we just hear about it on the news, like the Steel Samurai case or the shooting on Gourd Lake or whatever. And now it's like every single case in this game, we are like 10 feet from the dead body when the murder happens. Like every single time. Like we're just attracting this stuff. Why are we just always there? Oh, you think so? Yes, I do think so. It might be a little irresponsible to give her hope like this. A noble abandoned her at a tavern in a rundown village. We doubt someone like that would make themselves easy to find. Your Honor, my client is dead, so there's no need for a trial. I love it. Well, Your Honor, the prosecution is dead, so there's no need for a trial. That's where we were 30 minutes ago. Anyway, I don't want this night to be a total loss. Uh-oh, what are you planning? Come on, dance with me! What? That's not really something The thumbnail for this game is actually these two dancing together. That's actually... She's in the red dress, isn't she? Hang on. There's the graphic. So yeah, it is. So the graphic, the secondary thumbnail for this game is Celeste and Tyrion dancing at what I recognize now is in this room. Just kind of staring lovingly into each other's eyes. We may see that graphic in a moment. Yeah, that's this room. All right, interesting. But yeah, Tyrion is just wearing his work clothes too. He's not dressed in anything fancy like she is. This isn't really something Don't be like that! How often do we get to go to a party like this? Yeah, but this is a noble party. It sucks. Before we have a chance to object, she grabs our hand and starts dragging us to the middle of the room. Am I going to see the graphic I just saw, but within the game in a minute? We receive a few dirty looks from the aristocrats nearby. Is it a dance floor or isn't it? Celeste, people are staring at us. Who cares what they think? They're nobles. They're going to hate us no matter what we do. Fair point. He takes hold of our other hand and begins to pull us into a waltz. That is not the graphic I saw on Steam. I don't even know how to dance. I've never done this before. Look at him. He's just like, what do I do? It's easy. Just stop being so awkward about it. It's easy for her to say. All right, just tell me what I need to do. Well, first... Okay, that's a little closer. You need to be closer. Also, it's closer. It's closer and it's closer. You need to be closer to me. With one swift motion, she pulls her body closer to hers. Watch my movements and try to follow my lead. Stop staring at my boobs. You seem to know a lot about these things. I had to do a lot of networking when I was a mercenary. You know how many times I had to charm a merchant into hiring me? Well, I imagine it was very effective. We really don't know much about her, do we? We carefully watch the positioning of her feet and try to match her movement, so is that what you're looking at? After a while, we find ourselves able to match her rhythm. But we still accidentally step on her foot every few beats. She doesn't seem fazed by it. Either she's being polite or she genuinely doesn't feel anything. You're getting it, but don't focus so much on where your feet are. Just look at me. Yeah, your focus is important. Simon agrees. What? Come on, do it. We try to break eye contact with her, but every time we do, we slowly find ourselves being drawn back into her eyes. We feel so embarrassed that we're becoming lightheaded, and we find ourselves perspiring more than usual. But at the same time, we don't have any urge to break away from her. There's a comforting warmth behind all the anxiety we're feeling. Ah, there I was wondering who was talking for a minute. Ah, there he is, the infamous Tyrion Cuthbert. Never turns away from challenging a noble, but can't dance a step to save his life. Her expression doesn't betray a hint of it, but you still detect feelings of nervousness from her. Is she just as flustered as you are? You're just looking at her emoticons. Okay, this is getting closer to the graphic in Steam. We're getting there. We find ourselves relaxing a bit more, and we're somehow able to continue matching her movements. See? There you go. Although, what is it? You know the man is supposed to lead, right? Well, someone needs to lead. He doesn't know how to do it. Well, maybe I don't subscribe to gender stereotypes. Or maybe you just suck at this. Probably the latter. This is medieval times. We definitely subscribe to gender stereotypes. It's been a while since we felt this calm. There's always been something that we needed to prepare for. A client that needed saving, a culprit that needed catching. But we're quite content like this for this one brief moment that we're able to spend with her. We almost find ourselves getting lost in the mood. Until we spot a familiar face accompanied by a legion of knights. Oh, someone got murdered while we were dancing, didn't they? Son of a bitch. Don't tell me. The knights storm their way through toward where Beatrice and Oster are. Wasn't Ruby with Beatrice the whole time she was with William? I feel like that's a pretty good alibi. Several of the attendees take notice. They all stop what they're doing to see what's going on. Beatrice Frega, by the authority of the Wyvern Crown, you're under arrest. Did he just say Beatrice Frega? Darn it, it was just getting good. Celeste was enjoying herself. We should go see what's happening, shouldn't we? Yeah, I feel like we're on the clock. Let's go. Game on. You are completely out of line, Commander. I thought I told you to stand down. Do you not recognize who you're speaking to? Oh, even the kid's getting lippy. Let go of Lady Frega. I can't really do that, Your Highness. Oster, what's going on? It's Lord Frega. He was found murdered in his study. Well, damn. And these cretins think that Beatrice is behind it somehow. I'm sorry, Your Highness, but my orders come straight from Steelwind. Lady Steelwind sent you? Oh, even the kid is like, oh, damn. Well, crap. Beatrice takes in a deep breath and claps her hands together. Stop doing that. I should go with them. What? No. My brother is right. They have no right to. I don't want to cause friction between you and Arya. Also, I feel like they do have the right. They're the frickin' police. She's always been meticulous. I'm sure she's just being careful. I'm sure I'll be exonerated once they've thoroughly investigated what happened. Okay. Only if that's what you truly want. This brat is 7? Jeez. What? You can't just let them take her away? Brother, she's correct. It's not our place to interfere with the laws of our kingdom. But, however, yes, Your Highness? Miss Beatrice is blind. One of your knights will need to escort her. She's what? Oh, so you did know. Did he just say that she's blind? We're just reacquiring all the evidence we had an hour ago. Verify, like literally the same wording, right down to the word they made up for surgeons. Anyway, we're gonna need to take you to a holding cell, lady. Shouldn't you say my lady? Lady is rude. One of you should stay with her and guide her through, please. I may be disabled, but I'm not a child. Beatrice walks past the knights and heads toward the foyer. It appears that she already knows the way out. Shouldn't you all be following her? Right, Inquisition, move out. You definitely didn't expect the night to go like this. Just what is going on here? Alright, are we gonna go back to where we were? No! It's just daytime because the window's lit up. Maybe it's the day after the trial because Steelwind is... Also, how did Steelwind get injured? Because we know she was here now. When did she get cut up between this and the trial? Especially when we know that the trial was like 12 hours later. Like, you got attacked quick, woman. So it's nice and bright in here now. Oh, literally, it's not even the trial yet. They've just kept us here until noon. Okay, so what's Steelwind been up to? Someone needs to check on that poor girl. The Lord's Ball was already running well into the night, even before the murder occurred. Well, he was murdered at 3:12 a.m., if I'm not mistaken. We'd like nothing more to catch up on our lost sleep, but we made a promise to Oster. This doesn't make any sense. Beatrice was with me and my brother the entire night. Were they? Because I'm pretty sure she was just with her father and hopefully Ruby. We were there when she met with him in Steelwind. She couldn't have stolen the Sword of Spell-Eating and have murdered her father. The monkey did it. No, I still think it was Loft. We're going with Loft just because I say so. I don't understand. Of all the people that could have done this, why would Steelwind suspect a blind woman who was not there? Mr. Cuthbert, could you please defend Beatrice against these awful charges? I don't think I even need to. What? Beatrice is Ruby's client. I'm sure that she'll be the one defending her. Well, that certainly puts my mind at ease. What's wrong? I don't know if I'm asking too much, but could you still investigate the crime scene for me, Mr. Cuthbert? But we just said that Miss Tamora will... I know, and I don't doubt her abilities. But Beatrice is a dear friend of mine. I'd like every chance for her to be found innocent. You said that she was a dear friend. They must have known each other since she's a Frega. But why would Miss Tamora, of all people, represent a member of a noble house? There are still a lot of things we don't know about her. Yeah, she hates nobles, like us. Of course, I'll also compensate you for your services. Well then! Let's go. Consider yourself blessed. A commoner like you could only dream of a job like this. Shut up, kid. Alaric. The tiny prince has a point, though. A payment from the crown prince does sound tempting. I can't believe this. Celeste returns to the ballroom. She's changed back into her normal clothes. What's wrong? The people in the coat room said they couldn't find my sword? Well, that, first of all, that's really bad. Second of all, that's really bad. Don't tell me that someone used that sword to cut up Steelwind. Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about that. They told me that someone must have stolen it. Well, I'll say what I said before. Your security here sucks ass. What? That was an important sword. That's not good. That needs to come back. When Celeste went to the coat room to change, she was told that her sword had gone missing. Someone else must have taken it. Why would someone want to steal Celeste's sword? Aside from our group, everyone else at the ball was an aristocrat. We do recall her saying that it was forged in the Eastern Kingdoms. Someone might have stolen it because of its rarity. We can probably keep an eye out for it while we investigate the manor. This might all just be some kind of mistake. I hope so. Yeah, that's kind of important. But anyway, where should we start first? Well, you can start by going somewhere else, because you don't have your sword, so you can't bodyguard. Oh no, wait, I need you to repair your Arcanum. You stay here. We should head to the crime scene. I remember hearing that they found Lord Frega's body in his study. Let's go over there. Okay, first and foremost, chandeliers, small fortune, banking houses are loaded, aren't they? They sure is. Man. Each of these tables have a centerpiece of flowers on it. To be honest, it kind of looks tacky. Their notion of aesthetics must fly over the head of peasants like us. Said very sarcastically. We're all done except for...
Repario Arcanum.
I can't wait to see what new spells you've learned, by the way. Alright. Investigation, are you worried about your missing sword? No. Well, yes, I am worried. But I'm sure it'll turn up eventually. She's trying her best to hide how worried she is. We hope we're able to find her sword somewhere. Yeah. I think the fact that it was used as a weapon in this situation is the only reason we're going to find it. Where should we go next? The body was supposedly found in Lord Frega's study on the top floor. We should probably start our investigation there. And we shall. Hey. That sure is a study. We arrive at the crime scene and see the usual swarm of Inquisition knights. However, we also spot some members of the Kingsguard. They must be working together since the victim is from one of the Pillar families. I wasn't expecting to see you here, Mr. Cuthbert. Did you get a chance to change? Yeah, you did. I thought Ruby Tamora was defending this case. Prosecutor Steelwind approaches us as we enter the study. And she's followed by an unexpected yet familiar face. Have you already been attacked? What the hell's going on? Wallace! Spill beans! Wallace, what are you doing here? He's here as my aide for the investigation. The hell he is. We don't doubt Wallace's abilities, but we can't think of any reason why Steelwind would need his help. Shouldn't mend wounds really mend wounds? If you've been wound-mending magic channeling for this long, you'd think it would fix you up. But we suppose it's none of our business. Also, again, why did you get cut up? Who did that? Anyways, we're here on behalf of Crown Prince Oster. He's hired us to investigate this case independently. I see. I'm sure he just wants to make sure the investigation goes smoothly. Well, if you're here on behalf of His Highness, I'll do whatever I can to help you. This whole situation is quite unorthodox, but our goal remains the same. I wonder what the world is going on. I wonder too. This game has is doing a good job in all the cases of just, frankly, creating total chaos at the beginning and making it rather difficult to put the pieces together. Like when the redheads were spinning during their police investigation. I remember reading that, just being like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? And then later on, it's like, ah, I see. I see. Perhaps Steelwind can tell us more about what happened. Perhaps she can. Ah, come on! I want to repair your Arcanum! You just keep cock-blocking me because you know it's gonna show me something cool. Ah! What's wrong? You can't see it. The entire room is covered in traces of abjuration magic. Wow! The room is so covered, it's not even going to show it to me. It's just, yeah, imagine a hexagon grid on everything. Everything is glowing white. Right. That makes sense. There were several anti-magic fields covering the manor. Well, that's going to make things difficult. Those fields probably left traces of abjuration everywhere. I won't bother showing you the traces of abjuration I find while we're here. But what else do we see?
Arcanum.
Okay, so abjuration is everywhere, which means there's probably relevant abjuration magic that we can't really be aware of. But there's a trace of illusion magic where the body was. The assailant must have used some kind of magical disguise, or they turned themselves invisible. Autopsy report, we knew that traces of illusion magic were on the body. Again, data we already had. Interesting pattern, though. It's laid out like this. Curious. Nothing else cool? So that's it. Let's just investigate everything else. It's a bookshelf filled with, as it turns out, books. I wonder what kind of books Lord Frege owned. Wait a minute. They're all blank. All of his real books are on the floor or his desk. These are just for appearance's sake. There's a window that leads into this room. Could the murderer have escaped through here? No, the window doesn't open and the glass is magically reinforced. Everything is magically reinforced. He's a lord. More paintings of people. It's a painting of some sort of scholar. There's some text on it. Rook Razingar, economics scholar and aristocratic accountant. He was known in some circles as Rook the Cook, due to his ability to cook the books of the four pillar houses. Rook the Cook. Sometimes I wish I could have a nickname like that. Yeah, aren't you the Crimson Demon? Not that one. It's like, I want a cool nickname. You have a cool nickname. I don't like that cool nickname. I want a different cool nickname. I still think those are Kickstarter backers. I suspect. There's a large mahogany table at the end of the room. Mahogany. Lord Frege must have done his work here. It's a fireplace. Could the murderer have entered through here? That wouldn't be possible. The chimney is far too narrow. Even a small child wouldn't be thin enough to fit through. Well, what about a monkey? What about a monkey? What about the monkey? Tell me about the monkey. Books. Real books. There are several books about economics and politics. It doesn't look like there's anything of note. Alright. Good. Why are there two things? Bloodstain and body? There's a pool of blood and a chalk outline where the body must have been. Great. Good. Anyway, what can you tell me about the murder? William Frege was found dead in this room after the lockdown was lifted. Wait, lockdown? What lockdown? From what we can tell, his throat had been slashed open with a letter opener. The cause of death was blood loss. Both of his corroded arteries were severed. Here's the autopsy report if you want a detailed description. Were you able to find the murder weapon? Yes, the murderer left it at the crime scene. It was a letter opener owned by the victim. Do we do fingerprints in this universe? The murderer must have found it in this room and used it. There was one strange detail about the weapon. The handle was completely shattered. Interesting. We're not sure what to make of that detail, but it's as if someone crushed the handle using tremendous force. Huh. Arcane construct again? Man, those arcane constructs are like serial killers at this point. They're gonna stage an uprising in Case 5, watch it. The murder weapon was a letter opener with House Frega's crest on it. It must have been owned by the victim, its handle was completely shattered. It would have taken a tremendous amount of force to crush it like that. What could have caused the handle to shatter like this? Kind of like it shattered Justin's wrist in the previous case? Again, arcane constructs, man. Don't trust them.